creeper. Oh man.
Alright, it's Beastly, and we are back with a Building with Beastly episode. Now, today we have something a little bit different. This is what some people might know as no interactions, although this is not like Red Master's interaction, so I'm going to give it a different name. This is the Fully Direct deck. And this is focused a lot more on direct damage than what Red Master has. So I would kind of classify it a little bit differently there. But we are going to want the Crusader Warlock factions. We'll go ahead and create our deck. And moving into some unit picks. Now, last time we had a suggestion that said to go by gold value. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go ahead and start with our 1-cost cards. So we're going to want 3 Chaotic Storm. It's great for picking up early game units. We're going to want 3 Fears. And we're going to want 3 Lumberjacks. And we are also going to want 3 Salahar. Now, the reason we add Salahar Riders are in the early game, they are basically incinerates that get rid of your opponent's early game units. And this deck is all about getting that early game damage just so that you have that damage in place and you don't need to worry about it. Now, 2 drops. We are going to go for a couple of different things. We're going to go for a few Incinerates. We're going to go for a few Mischievous Imps. We won't put any Priests in, and I'll explain why in a second here. But we are going to go for some 3 drops now. Now, in our 3 drops, we will want 3 Blue Fires. It's great for direct removal. We're not going to add in any Clerics, none of that. We'll add in 3 Divine Knowledges. We will add in 3 Flame Storms, and this is where you get some good synergy going. We'll add in 3 books. That's just great for draw. It's basically a free 3/3. And we are going to want 3 Tarius Files. And this is 2 Tarius Files. I misspoke there. But that's a really, really nice combo, is that Flamestorm Tarius. Now, technically, it's a 2 card for 2 card trade. You spend 2 cards, you get 2 cards, but they are cheaper cards, and also you get the Flamestorm value on top of that on your opponent's units, and you know it's coming, so you can kind of clear your units out, make advantageous trades, and then on top of that you get that 2 damage to everything, and you don't really run any buildings or anything like that can get harmed by that type of stuff. So 4 cost units here. We aren't going to add an army, we won't add any of that. We will add in Dark Benders. So we want 3 Dark Benders. We are not going to add Demonic Rage. We do want 3 Drain Lives, because that's a direct 2 to Castle, and we'll want 3 Horsemen. And yeah, I think that's going to be it there. Now we do want ourselves some Craxuses. These are going to be our 3 legendaries. So we have a set of Craxuses and a set of Arbiters. And for a very final unit, we're going to get ourselves a Wizard, alright? So we're going to add in 3 Wizards, and that's going to be the deck complete. So I want to talk a little bit more about the pieces before we move into match. So, starting back at the start, I said earlier Chaotic Storm is a great early game card. And this is doubly true just because if they play a Lumber, it's basically getting rid of that early game unit so that you can play like in Salahar aggressively, something like that. And it's dealing 2 damage to Castle. Same with Salahar, it's basically just your Drain Life. For their Salahar, it evens out the board entirely, and it can just be a 3 direct castle as well, which is really, really good in this deck. Lumberjack, of course, auto-include. Fear is great for positioning. Salahar Rider, again, is basically a free Incinerate in the early game. Incinerate, typically used just directly on castle to deal 2. Mischievous Imp, just great source of damage. Blue Fireball, great for removal. You got your Divine for some draw, your Flying Books for some draw, your Flamestorm Tarius to deal with any Mystic Rats, stuff like that. You can hold the Flamestorm for that type of stuff. You hold it for value. You don't spend it immediately if you're playing against those Mystic Rat colors. You just hold it for that swarm value. You can play it. It gets rid of all of your problems. Super good card. Wizard, Darkbender, they are basically just guaranteed damage. They're like Burns. Since this deck is so heavy on early aggression, you can just, have your range units held back and then just slap up Castle when it's advantageous, when they don't have too much on the board to get rid of it, or a really, really deadly combo here is if you drain life one of your range units and they don't have much damage on the board or they don't have cards that can reach your range units, you just slap castle. And then they've got to play a card that can either deal 6 or deal 7, depending on whether it was the Darkbender or Wizard played. Drain life, it's just direct 2 on castle, and it gives a +2/+2 buff, which is great with your range units, it's great with your Kraxus, it's just great all around. Headless, great source of direct damage. It's a little bit of a coin toss, but if you play Flamestorm to clear board, and then you play Headless, late game, it's a nice combination. You can get 3 on castle. So yeah, if the board's clear, you can guarantee a hit on castle, or you can just Rambo it, see if you can hit an armory, something like that. Krax is just a beefy boy, bunch of draw. He's got dissipate, so they can't target him. Great thing to play drain life with. And then Arbiters is a guaranteed. Well, sorry, it's not a guaranteed 4 on castle. It's a possible 4 on castle. Not many people guard against Arbiters. They don't really see it coming as a source of castle damage. I close out a majority of games with this deck with Arbiters. It's just a great card, just 1 card, 4 damage, and you get that 10 heal, which means you can stall in the late game while you're looking for that final burn to clean off their deck. But yeah, we'll go into a few example matches here and see how it plays. Match number 1 here is going to be against a nameless opponent, so we're just playing against the enemy, and we have an interesting starting hand. We got that Salahar for our early pressure. We got a Flamestorm, which I'm not really sure if I need or not. I may as well get rid of it since we already have a good early game. Got the Divine Knowledge. We'll keep that. We'll keep the Divine Knowledge. We'll keep the Darkbender. We get an Imp. That's going to be a very, very nice curve here. We'll see if he has a turn 1. He does not. So we'll go ahead and play down our Salahar Rider. And we will play it aggressively. We're going to run it up. Seeing as he didn't have a lumber for his turn 1, I'm not betting he has one now, which means he's going to have to put something out to hit that Salahar. Now, it could be a 3/3, which would be, unfortunate, but if the burn goes on the 3/3, that's fine. Okay, it's on City Guard. We'll see if the 2 goes on Castle here. Now, the reason I played up there was I was trying to clear a ramp for Imp. So, like, if he had left it alone, if he didn't have a turn 2, I could have moved the Salahar up here, hit castle, played Imp back here, and he couldn't really reach Imp unless he had something like a Rat King or something like that. But we'll go ahead and play Imp a little bit less aggressively here. We'll just move it up in front and see if he has something to block, seeing as that Imp has the 2 burn, and then on top of that, he has the 3 attack, which is why it's better than a regular 3/3 for this type of deck. Now, there's a 1/4 chance that our units are just going to trade here. 1/2 that the Imp goes onto the Salahar, and then 1/2 that the Salahar goes onto the Imp. So we see okay, it didn't turn out that way, which is great for us, because now we can go in and hit. We'll coin out into Darkbender. Next turn is going to be another Darkbender, and we're just going to start hitting castle. It doesn't matter if he kills off my units. I'm just looking to earn myself as much early game damage as possible. So we want to get his castle down as low as possible, because late game, we're going to be drawing into our burns with stuff like Kraxus, draw engines like that, and we just want him to be low. So it doesn't matter if he kills off our range units, anything like that. We just want the hits on castle. That's all we're looking for. So we'll see if he has anything to play here to get rid of this Imp pressure that we have on his face right now. He's thinking, he's considering, he's wondering, an Imp of his own. It doesn't look like he's going to play it aggressively, which is a mistake. We're not going to use our Imp to hit his Imp. We're just going to move it up, hit there. We're going to move this up, hit, and then we're going to play our Darkbender in the back and then move it up. So right now he's at 10. We have a very high likelihood of being able to hit another 4 next turn. Which we will, of course, take. That will leave him at 6 health, which we can burn off pretty easily in the late game, like a 2 burn and then an Arbiters, that's it. Or if we have 3 cards, we can dedicate 3 cards to it. Next turn, I'm probably going to Divine Knowledge, see if I can get myself a Chaotic Storm, and that would be a nice way to get rid of this Imp here. He's going to get up to 4 attack. If he can't deal, okay, alright. He's going to Shadowcut. I don't agree with that. He's not in range. This could just be game if I draw a burn off of the Divine Knowledge, like Incinerate, something like that. So not the best choice from him, if I'm being honest. We'll go ahead and Divine Knowledge first. Flamestorm, that's gonna... Oh, we get the Incinerate. Okay. So we're gonna move up. We're gonna hit the 4. We're gonna hit another 4. And then, of course, Incinerate is direct damage to Castle, so we can go and do that and close out the match. So he should have just played the sorry, not the Dark Bender, the Blacksmith, and then bladed it, and then moved it up, or katana'd it, sorry, and then moved it up and hit the Dark Bender with that. That would have gotten a little bit of the pressure off of his face, but he did not choose to do that. All right, match 2 here against I don't know how to pronounce this. Something say. Sphy? I don't know how to say it. Looking at our early hand, we've got Incinerate, we've got a Chaotic Storm. We're gonna keep the Chaotic. Or are we gonna keep the Chaotic? We're not gonna keep the Chaotic. I would keep it if I was going second. Because I'm just gonna waste turn 1. I would prefer to play it on something. We'll go ahead and trade out both of those burns and hopefully draw something. Okay, we've got an Imp. We've got a Flamestorm. We'll go ahead and pass back to him. So the reason I passed out on the Chaotic was I use it more in the early game to deal with units. Like the Salahar Rider, it would be nice if I had a Chaotic Storm for that. But I didn't want to waste the possibility for a better turn 1. So we're gonna go ahead and put out a Silly. That's my seat. So yeah, it's just a little bit of logic for me, but again, it's not the end of the world that we don't have that Chaotic Storm now when we really need it. Is it the 1/4? No, we get the favorable trade, and then we can go ahead and play out our Lumber. We'll go ahead and move the Lumber all the way up, and then we'll play our Imp down. Now we're looking to keep aggression off of us so that we can set up our Darkbender Drain Life. He's going to Hassan City Guard, which is fine. We do have a Flamestorm in hand. Ooh, we get a Salahar Rider. Okay, well, I don't know how we're going to play this. That was actually very silly of me. I didn't remember that he had the Hassan City Guards pull. I could drain life here, which I think is gonna be what I'm gonna do. Is it? Is it really though? Because he's just gonna gain advantage off of that. Ay, ay, ay. I think we'll go for this. We'll go for the Salahar trade, see if we can get it on the soldier. Excellent, we can. We'll then go for the Divine Knowledge, and we'll just go for the 3 on face. Whenever you have a choice here, always choose direct damage. Now, he is playing Crusader, which is slightly worrying, because he could have access to cards like Church and Heal, which would not be good for this deck at all. This is going to be a Flamestorm right here, I do believe. Flamestorm into Chaotic, so we'll just take the direct 3 on Castle. We're looking to get our Darkbender Drain Life set up soon, so that we can start slapping face with that. We have put him down 8 gold, but we have put a lot of cards into that effort there of getting him down. We may just Blue Fire Divine Knowledge here, I believe. Yeah, because there's no safe way to set up my my Darkbender. Okay, so we get an Imp and a Headless out of it, which is excellent. Next turn, we could possibly Imp Drain Life or Darkbender, Imp, something along those lines. We'll see what our draw is, but he's going to play that in a Blacksmith. This is good. I don't think he has heals. He would have played Temple by now if he did. Now, I'm trying to consider here what I should do, if I should go for the Headless Horseman or the Darkbender setup. Seeing as we have 2 Drain Lives, I think I'll go for the Darkbender, and we'll go for the Imp, and we'll play it up here. But we are going to look to trade the Imp before we play our Drain Lives. And these are 2 very nice Drain Live targets here. Hopefully he runs up and hits. I don't really think that through. He's not going to come up so that I can trade with the Imp. And now my Drain Lives might go on the Imp. Ay, 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 why did I do that? I should have put it... Okay, alright, never mind, it's fine. Well, it's not fine, because now the Drain Lives will go on the Imp, but you know what it is, what it is. Oh, he's going to trade it anyway, that's fine. Interesting, he's not going to kill off... I guess he's considering the Drain Lives. I'm just going to go for Kraxus here, then, that's my best play. Now I have a even better target for Drain Life, which is Kraxus, of course. And he'll kill off the range unit here. He has to dedicate an attack with that with the Lich. We can burn off the Lich if we really need to, just to not give him any draw off of it. He's going to Shroud here, Lightning Blade. Okay, makes sense. Alright, so that's rather unfortunate. We take the 3 direct. But we do have an Arbiter, so we can just heal back. I don't think it's worth healing back at the moment, but I'm trying to consider what we should do. I'm thinking we play Headless Horseman. Okay, we get that. We play Drain Life. Now, actually, we're going to go ahead and kill this first. Then we'll Drain Life on Castle and put our Headless here. And then we'll play Lumber behind. Now, the reasoning for this is I have so much burn in my hand. Whatever he puts to block, I could probably burn off and just guarantee myself the game. Or I can just do this next turn, the Drain Life and then Incinerate. And then we can Arbiters into his Castle because he doesn't have any heal at the moment. Okay, so he's going to clear that back. I think we have to take the Arbiter's approach this turn then. So we'll go ahead and play that. Heal ourselves up 10. Slap his Castle for 4. And then we'll hit this with our Lumber. See if we can get something nice for 1. No, we cannot. So that means that we will play our Headless over here. So he's down to 4. If he doesn't draw a heal, then we win the game. Please Flux. Okay, thank you, Flux. Thank you for not giving him heals. If he has hands, he's going to Mystic Journey. That's fine. I don't mind. Heavenly Shield. Again, fine. I don't mind. So yeah, it's really... The Arbiters is really, really nice. It provides stall by healing your own castle if you're low. Like, I would have lost the game there probably if I hadn't Arbitered. I mean, I might be one off, but... Anyway, we got the burn to deal with his castle now, so we'll go ahead and do that. And there you go. That's the second match there. So I would say deck performs very, very well, even against Crusaders. He wasn't running healed, to be fair to him. If he was, I think he would have had a much better chance against this deck. But yeah, I think that's a very, very nice showcase of the fully direct deck here. So go ahead, try it out, and see if it serves you well. I will say it is very, very good against Mystic Rats, especially. So if you're getting tired of getting beaten down by Mystic Rats, try playing this. Just go for direct castle damage and hold your Flame Storms. They can't do anything about healing, because Mystic Rats, of course, isn't the Crusader faction. At least the normal version of it isn't. So they have no way to heal back. If you get that early game damage while they're setting up, then you are going to be golden in the late game just to snipe them off. If they play Mystic Rats, you could just Flamestorm